Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color?
Let's unpack the magic. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Team Unicorn Podcast. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Sammy.
And today we are having a Ho-Ho-Showdown, or Ho-Ho-Showdown. We are having like a movie brawl or kind of competition today.
Yes.
We are going to be talking all about Christmas movies and all of our favorite Christmas movies, but we're going to kind of do it in a fun, unique twist.
Yes, we're going to do it draft style.
Yes. And before we get into all the specifics on how that's going to work, Sammy, how was your week?
We've never done this before.
I know.
This is kind of fun. My week was good. It's busy.
Yeah, it's always busy around this time.
We're always so busy. We saw Pentatonics this last week.
That was
their holiday Christmas concert tour thing that they're doing.
I think they call it the Christmas Spectacular.
Yeah.
It was the holiday tour. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was really good.
And I'm trying to think of that was really fun. I'm trying to think of a way to explain it because we've seen Pentatonics before.
Yes, they were here a few years because it was pre-COVID.
I think it was 2018.
Yeah, it was 18 or 19 because it was right before.
Right, and they had just released their brand, I guess they're kind of their pop album.
Yeah, and that was their original music.
Yeah.
So.
And that show really blew us away.
That was so good.
We were really surprised. I mean, we like Pentatonics, don't get us wrong, but we were really surprised at how much we really enjoyed that show. So this year when they were coming, I know we kind of had a couple different options for a holiday show, which isn't something we usually get that opportunity to have.
Yeah, we had to choose between Pentatonics. They were coming to Green Bay at the Rush Center, so right at home, which was really nice. And then what was the Trans-Siberian Orchestra?
That was in Green Bay as well.
That was in Green Bay as well, but that was the week after we came back from Disney. I think it was the 16th or something they were in town.
Yeah, and it's nice with them because they usually come every other year. And they usually kick off their tour in Green Bay. They really do love Green Bay. Green Bay definitely loves them. So that was cool to see them come in. When they first announced that they were coming back, and I'm like, oh, maybe we should do this. And then it was just kind of it's right around Disney.
Couple years since we've seen them.
Yeah. And the last time we saw them, we had super good seats.
Yeah, we were I don't know, just a few rows behind the stage or in
front of the stage, almost kind of center. So that was super awesome.
But we didn't think that was going to be the best idea just because it was the week where, after we come back, we didn't know we're probably going to be busy, and it's a good thing we didn't because we both came home sick. So that was probably the best choice not to pick that one. And then Lindsay Sterling was also doing a Christmas show down in Milwaukee,
which we've seen Lindsay Sterling in Milwaukee, and that was a really good show.
So I think she's already because I think that's already passed.
I think so.
But yeah, so we kind of had to pick which one we wanted to go to, and we haven't seen a Pentatonics Christmas show, so we went with that one. Plus we got your mom a ticket for her birthday. So yeah, it worked out really nice, and it was an amazing show. The opener was really good.
Yeah. A girl named Tom.
Yeah, they were on The Voice.
I think they won The Voice last year.
Yeah. Really good. Yeah. Really
and then they had Koss and Mayer, who are TikTok famous.
Oh, yep.
They do a lot of TikTok dances. They were the dancers. They were the dancers throughout the show. So they kind of opened up the show, and then they did dancing here and there throughout it, and that was really cool. And they did that really cool TikTok moment where they're trying to do the Pentatonics that they're trying to do a TikTok every single night while they're on tour. So they did the 10 days of Christmas, and then 12 days of Christmas, and when I got to 5 golden rings, we all everyone in the sold out show lifted up their phones with their flashlights on it. So that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
So it's I was there.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, so that was a fun little week for us.
Yeah, and I think it was really fun to, I mean, I don't know, to be honest, Christmas kicks off here on my birthday, November 1st.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just a really fun, like, going out kind of thing for, like, the Christmas season. Yeah, I don't know, really enjoyed that show.
Yeah, so. And then we ended the week. We just went over to the Titletown district, which is kind of right across the road from Lambeau Field, which is something super amazing that we have at our disposal here in Green Bay now.
Yeah, the Packers have really developed that space so well, because it used to be a Kmart, a Big Lots. I think there was a bank over there,
and I think like a hotel and a gas station.
Yeah,
and then they like completely demolished everything down. There's a it's a huge, just kind of like a multi-purpose complex area. There is like some condos over there, but there's indoor golf, there's restaurants, there's breweries, there's a big sledding hill. I know in the summer we posted it about we went over there and they had movies out on the hill. So that's where we saw Encanto again out on the hill during the summer, which is really awesome. They have tons of activities. There's an ice skating rink out there now in the winter time.
It's so beautiful. Like there's lights everywhere. Like it's all lit up. They have like these huge like snowflake lights like throughout like the whole thing. So yeah, there's like tons of like photo ops. I know they have like reindeer out there.
Santa
will come. They do like special, like I know they do like glow ice skating. They have like character. I don't know what kind of characters. I'll have to look into it and see like what kind of characters they have come out there. But yeah, they've really just built up like this really fun, like family friendly like area that just has events and things to do. Which is really nice for Green Bay.
It's so weird to have like our little town. Like, I know we're not like super little, but like we're little compared to like all the other football.
Yeah, like when you
cities.
think of like places that have like like a national football team, like they're huge, and like Lambeau Field is literally in people's backyards. Like it's in a neighborhood. But yeah, it's really fun. Sometimes I kind of miss like the big like parking lot, because that's like where everyone would go to tailgate.
Yeah.
So we kind of like, you don't really have that space as much, but I really love what they've done like with the Titletown district. It's really fun over there. But yeah, we
went over there last night and we watched. They have like a little light show and firework display off the side of Lambeau Field. Which isn't as good this year as it was in recent years, but you mentioned last night, I think we're just spoiled with like the Disney quality.
It's not Disney.
So we went and saw that. We went and took some pictures around there. We'll eventually go back sometime this year to do some. Well, you'll do some ice skating.
Yeah, I'll bring my sister.
I'm staying clear of the ice skating rink.
Tyler's done ice skating once, and
that was more than enough. God, there are some pictures of me with like, you can see like, I'm scared for my life. The terror in my eyes. But yeah, we'll go back there sometime again before Christmas time, and it's super nice over there. So I guess if there's any Green Bay listeners that have not seen Titletown District,
or if you're like maybe wanting to book a trip to Green Bay, I don't know. But yeah, it's super fun, super pretty.
Yeah. So that was our fun little night, and we got gelato from our favorite small shop here in town. Went over there and just had a nice little hour excursion on a Friday night. So that was super fun.
Yeah, for sure.
But this is our first episode in December.
Yes.
And we are kicking off our kind of holiday episodes this month. We have most of the episodes this month are going to be
holiday themed. So
and we thought, because we've been watching so many Christmas movies already so far this year, that we kind of thought about it, like, what is our favorite Christmas movies that we always go to? And we have like a list of ones that we always try to watch every single year. But then we're like, well, what is like the best Christmas movie?
And like, how do we go about doing it? Because we thought about the bracket.
Yep.
But I think we kind of both know like what would win.
Yeah. So if you watch watch or listen to the Battle of the Baddies Halloween episode, where we had all of like the main villains going up against one another, that's kind of maybe how we thought we were going to do this one with the movies. But yeah, we both know which one's going to win here. And then I think that type of format kind of leads better for like individual characters, which I'm excited to maybe kind of do something about that with a different set of characters in the future. And then I was scrolling through TikTok and I see like, I don't remember what the account is, but like they do like these draft style kind of formats. So they'll do like, what's your favorite cookie, or like what's the best thanks for fall thing. And I'm just like, well, we could probably do this with like our Christmas movies.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just saw somebody do it with Taylor Swift. I think they did it like with her Speak Now album. They're just like, what are the, your top 5 like best, or favorite songs, and they, picked them.
Yeah, and this format also kind of tends to like a little bit of like a competitive edge to us, or like, we have to be very strategic, because depending on how you pick, the other person could swoop in there and pick a movie that you really wanted.
Yeah.
So this is going to work just like the NFL or NBA, just any sort of kind of sports draft. We have a big long list of movies that we typically watch every single year, and we're going to go back and forth plucking them kind of like players on our team.
Yep.
And I think we're going to do 6 movies. And so we're going to compile like our armada of 6 movies, Disney, or not Disney movies, but Christmas movies.
Yeah.
That are like our go-to, like you can't be without, you can't go through Christmas without watching these movies.
Yeah, you got to watch these movies.
And in fairness to my beautiful wife, she gets to pick first.
Yeah. Before we go, I have a couple questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
I'm just gonna take a sip of my sugar cookie. Coffee.
Christmas movies that you watched growing up versus Christmas movies that you watch now. How much has that changed?
A lot.
Yeah.
Tons, a lot. So like, I remember growing up, like, so I think it's like TBS or TNT. I don't think TNT is a thing anymore, so it must be TBS. They do, I think on Christmas, they do like 24 hours of A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
I've never liked that movie.
Me either.
So spoiler alert, when we get into like that, this movie is not going to be on our list of movies. But that movie was always on. And I think
they still do it. I don't know which channel it is. I don't know if it's still like.
I think that, like I always remember it being on because my uncle, who lives with us at the house when I was growing up, that he would watch that all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, I'm used to like seeing that movie. I don't think I've ever watched it like all the way through, but I know like the iconic lines like, oh fudge, and Ralphie putting his tongue on the pole or whatever, and the fragile lamp, but like that's not a movie that really like appeals to me, I guess.
Yeah, same.
And then I don't remember, like I remember I strictly did not watch Home Alone until like we got together.
I think same with the Santa Claus movies. You had never seen those, right?
Yep. So like it's weird, like you've like now like thinking about it, like you've really influenced like my love of Christmas, because you've like introduced me to all of these new movies like I never watched growing up.
Yeah.
Like I guess my favorite movie growing up was probably How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey version. And I remember seeing that in like the movie theater. I'm pretty sure my mom, I don't know if it was like the De Pere Theater, the De Pere Cinema, which is like a little small kind of
like family
owned theater that kind of does like the aftermarket movies.
Yeah, but they just changed now. I think they're doing like movies that come out like.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but anyways.
Yeah, so like I remember like seeing that, and like that's always been one of my favorite movies growing up. And then like a lot of like we watched more of like the holiday specials, like the ones that always came out on CBS. So you had like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Santa Claus and or How the Grinch Stole Christmas and Charlie Brown, like all those ones, or like the old, is that Irv Berlin ones, like the stop motion ones with like those are the ones like we watched. Like I guess we didn't really specifically watch movies, but it was more or less like those like classic Christmas specials on just
what was on TV.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, we watched those two, like Rudolph, Frosty the Snowman. But yeah, we definitely grew up with like Home Alone 1 and 2, the Santa Claus movies, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the animated one for sure, and then
the original animated
the original. And then the Jim Carrey one. My sister loves that one. I am not a huge fan of that movie.
Yeah. We argue about this all the time.
We argue which one's the best.
Because I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna watch the best Grinch movie, and I'm like, oh, the one with Jim Carrey, and then Sammy's like, no, the one with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch. That is my favorite. When I saw that one in theaters, first of all, I cried. Second of all, this storyline with Cindy Lou and her mom, I love it. Mm-hmm. Max is so cute and gets treated so nicely in this movie. I love the animation. It's the best one. To me, The Grinch with Benedict Cumberbatch, that's my Grinch movie.
Yeah. So, I guess, and then, so now, obviously we're grown-ups now, and we have a lot more movies that we've seen. I guess, are there movies that, you think that people, think are Christmas movies that you don't consider Christmas movies, or are there movies that you've maybe have seen that aren't maybe technically Christmas movies but you believe are Christmas movies?
Okay, so I just watched Little Women for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay, so that movie came out in 2019, and I knew I wanted to see it. We just never got around to seeing it in theaters, and then after it came out, I don't know what streaming platform it went to. If it did, but I never got a chance to watch it, and it just kind of went back, and I'm just I don't know, a couple weeks ago I was I really want to watch this movie, because I was looking through Christmas movies, and it was on a Christmas list, and I'm okay, I guess I didn't realize it was a Christmas movie, and I guess there could be an argument made either way for this movie. I would probably put it on my Christmas movie list, okay, but I would also watch it outside of Christmas time. Sure. Just because I love this movie. It's genuinely one of my favorite just regular movies, and I don't know, I'm ashamed that it took me this long to finally watch it. Yeah, so yeah, I guess that one could be made either way. I would put it on my Christmas list.
Okay.
I know there's a couple other ones. The two that we have that come to mind are Die Hard and Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Die Hard, I've never seen.
I've never seen Die Hard.
I don't know.
And I feel like the people who think that that's a Christmas movie are hardcore, it is a Christmas movie. You will not change my mind.
Well, and I think they're probably people that just don't really like Christmas movies, so this is their way of this is
a compromise,
or something.
The wife wants to watch a Christmas movie, and the other guy's well, I'll Die Hard.
Yeah.
And I think it's I haven't seen it, but I think it takes place on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So I think that's just why it's considered a Christmas movie.
Spoiler alert, it's not on our list.
I would make the argument that Iron Man 3 is definitely a Christmas movie. I think the big argument with whether something is or is not is that does it take place at Christmas, but the plot line is Christmas themed, or is it take place around Christmas and it just happens to be around Christmas?
Yeah.
The plot doesn't really revolve around Christmas, and I think Iron Man 3 kind of falls right in the middle of that. There are definitely plot points to that film that definitely fall in the middle of some of it is it's definitely very Christmas themed, especially the end climax with the battle against all of Tony's the entire armory, and they all explode and it looks like fireworks going off, and they're on the oil rig, and there's a big Christmas tree there, so it definitely feels like that's Christmas centric. Or there's a Christmas pageant that Stan Lee's cameo is in, mm-hmm. and the Tony's Malibu home before it's blown up that is decorated in Christmas. So there are definitely Christmas themes. Or when he goes to Harley, and that whole section, when they're in Harley's, I think it's in Tennessee or something.
Yeah,
that is all Christmas themed. So mm-hmm. to me, it makes sense where I could be Iron Man 3 is definitely a Christmas movie because there's so many plot points that connected to Christmas. Now with Die Hard, again, we haven't seen it, but I think the only thread line there is that it just takes place on Christmas Eve, and I don't know, but to me, I don't think that Die Hard is, and I think it's more or less the people think it is, or the fans of Die Hard, they're yes, it's a Christmas movie. They're just too overly aggressive about it, where I'm just kind of calm down, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't necessarily see Iron Man 3 fans being aggressively this is a Christmas movie, because I don't think there's a majority of the people that look fondly back that far on Iron Man 3. I think it's one of the better movies in the trilogy, to be honest. But I, there's a case that can be made for both of it. But I would say that yes, Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie. It's kind of, and then I know we've had this debate all the time. And we tried watching this movie once and we didn't like it, and we watched it again and we kind of did. And I do like this movie. Is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Is it a Christmas movie? Is it a Halloween movie?
I think it's a Christmas movie.
I think it's a Halloween movie.
No,
no,
you're wrong.
They are Halloween based. It's Halloween based, and then they kind of venture out into Christmas.
If it was Halloween only, then why is the Haunted Mansion overlay with The Nightmare Before Christmas? Why is it still up during Christmas time? If it's just a Halloween movie, then why would they keep it up for Christmas?
I don't know.
You're wrong.
No, they're wrong. I don't okay.
Are you telling me that Bob Iger would do something wrong in Disney? Because this isn't a Bob Chapek thing. This No, I mean, I honestly think that it is a Christmas movie. It takes place with characters that are Halloween characters, but they are trying to bring Christmas into their town. Like Jack Skellington, is mesmerized by Christmas. Like he wants to bring the joy of Christmas to the folks in Halloween town. But they
ruin it. They make it all icky with Halloween.
That's just how they celebrate it.
No, I don't like it. I mean, the movie is fine. I will maybe watch it during Halloween. It's definitely not on my Christmas list.
I mean, by no means is it one of my favorite ones, but I mean, I'll go to fight for it. It's a Christmas movie.
No, I think you should watch it at Halloween, and that's it.
Well, you should watch it on your birthday.
No.
It's the day after Halloween, and then it's the kickoff to Christmas.
No.
I think your birthday is the only good compromise that we should be watching.
Worst idea. No, thank you.
No, every year from now on,
no.
Nightmare Before Christmas on your birthday. It's our new tradition.
I'm not having it.
All right, so let's, instead of arguing about movies, we don't
argue about much, but
no, we don't. But this has been a contentious spot for us.
Yeah.
But let's kind of gear the conversation over to the main topic of today's Our draft.
Okay.
So do you want to go through all the movies we have on here, or do you just kind of want it to be a surprise? I mean, so I will say there are certain movies that aren't on this list that people would consider like your typical Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation,
and
A Christmas Story, Love Actually. Those films we just don't care for.
Christmas with the Cranks. We just watched that movie. That is
my God, it's the worst movie. And like I tried to be very
I was very open-minded going into it.
Oh, you really wanted. You were really pushing it. Like,
I was like, it's a Christmas movie. Like, I didn't really see anything bad about it. Like,
right. And so like we were. Like, it has Tim Allen. Like he's in the Santa Claus movies. Like we really like those movies. We both, don't. Like, there was a lot going for it that like should have been like, this is gonna be a good movie.
Yeah.
It was not.
No.
Like I said, I tried to be open minded. And I tried to give it the benefit. I'm like, oh no, I'm trying to find like the silver linings in this. Like we were driving, like it bothered me for like 2-3 days after we watched it. I'm just like, like there's just there's got to be something like redeemable about this movie. And then at one point, I just like F it. There's nothing redeemable about this movie. We wasted our time watching it. It was like, don't watch it. Don't watch it.
I'm trying to think of like one good thing about that movie. The only thing I can think of is when I can't remember the dad's name. Luther?
Luther.
Gives the cruise tickets to the older couple. maybe that's the redeeming.
But then, like, they're still dicks to one another.
I know. And then I don't know. And I don't like the whole, like, there's no, like, Christmas message. Like the main, like, I feel like I walked away from that movie feeling like they were trying to make the main message, like, you need to have all the Christmas stuff to be Christmassy. You need to have, like, the Christmas party and the Christmas tree and all of, like, you know, your
and the honey roasted ham.
Yeah, you know, your perfect Christmas cards and making all your donations to everybody and all of this. Like, you literally need to have all of that. You need to make sure everybody on your block is doing the same thing. Like, it was just like, I don't know, like, conformity to Christmas. And I'm like,
yeah, and like, so like and I think like the big thing is that there's a scene where, like, there's Christmas carolers kind of going through, like, this neighborhood, and they see all these houses lit up except one, and then she's like, oh, are they Jewish? Are they Buddhist? I'm like, why does it matter if someone doesn't have Christmas lights up? Like, they're not like a Scrooge, they're not like a Grinch, like, they just don't want to put Christmas lights up, but they can still, like, celebrate and benefit in, like, the joy of Christmas without having to do all of the things that, like, you know,
think people
outwardly express, you know, to make it feel like Christmas.
I know, because I'm like, literally, like, all the houses were the same. Like, they had Frosty up on the chimney. Like, when there's snow in the beginning, like, just snow around the edges of the yards. And I'm like, that doesn't happen. Like, I don't know. I don't like that movie.
Yeah. So that's our glowing review for Christmas with the Cranks. So that's another movie that's not going to be on this list here. But I think we should start by going down the list, maybe reading off all the movies that we have on there. And then we can go ahead and get into the draft. Excuse me while I just have a cup of cheer. Cup of cheer. All right. Okay. Do you want to go down the list and read them?
Yeah, I'll go down the list. Okay. We have Home Alone 2.
Not 3.
No, 3 is all right. I will tolerate it, but I usually stop after 2.
I think I've seen it once.
4 is atrocious, and I have not seen, I think the
Home Sweet Home Alone.
Yeah, I didn't even bother with that one, so no. Home Alone 1 and 2, and that's it. The Grinch with Benedict Cumberbatch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Jim Carrey, The Year Without a Santa Claus, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Elf, The Santa Claus 2. I did include Santa Claus 3.
I mean, I do enjoy that movie.
Yeah, like, it's okay. Noelle, Mrs. Santa Claus, which I'm sure probably most of you have never heard of this movie, but it's a great Christmas movie. It has Angela Lansbury in it. I
didn't know about it until you told me about it.
Yeah, it's just, we watched a lot of, I guess, we just watched a lot of, like, weird Christmas movies.
Don't say weird. That's not a weird movie.
Yeah. If you watch it, you'll probably, like, and if you know me at all, you probably understand, like, why I love that movie so much. But
I mean, plus it has, like, Angela Lansbury.
Angela Lansbury, like, she's just amazing. But yeah, The Christmas Chronicles 2, Klaus, A Bad Mom's Christmas, Olaf's Frozen Adventure, Last Christmas, Godmothered, The Night Before, Office Christmas Party, North Pole, Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas Special, Happiest Season, A Muppets Christmas Carol, and Little Women.
So those are the
that's the
entire list of what we're gonna go off of and base this draft off of.
Yep.
Like I said earlier, Sammy will get the benefit of going first in this draft. So we're just gonna kind of go back and forth, pick the movies, and as we pick them, we're going to just discuss them. And at the end, we're going to see, what team that we've kind of assembled here, our Avengers of Christmas movies here. And then maybe debate on who he thinks is better. I really don't know how this is going to end.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to end either.
But that's the plan for this one. So I guess without a further ado, would you like to pick your first film?
Sure. Are we just going to type them? Or
yeah, if you want to type them in here.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see.
Again, we had this really, really good idea. And then as I'm saying, I'm like, I don't really know, like, what the end goal is here. Or, like, do we declare a winner? Because I feel like we're both going to think,
maybe you guys should declare the winner. Like, which movie list would you pick? Like if you can only pick one.
We'll put it in the I think on Spotify I can do like a pick your answer, and we'll put it up on Instagram as well, to see which movie list you would rather watch throughout your holidays.
Yes. Okay. Let's get some numbers going.
We're super prepared here.
I know. Okay, so
there is a bit of strategy here, which is why I gave you the first pick.
I know. That's why I kind of wanted you to go first.
So Sammy has. We were just talking about this before we started recording. I wouldn't say it's a toxic trait, but like this is maybe like an ick or a tick that she has a very bad time deciding things.
I do. I'm really bad at making decisions. So
especially in something like this where there needs to be strategy to it.
Yeah, and I don't know how hardcore you're gonna go after. Like,
dude, I'm going hardcore.
My favorites.
So
I think with my first one, because I gotta keep it safe, I'm going The Grinch with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, okay.
So because if you take that from me, my list is going to be really sad.
Are you saying that I would purposely take one of your favorite Christmas movies away from you?
Yes, you would.
Elf is my number one.
See, I knew that was the one I was debating between.
And you're even wearing the Elf shirt.
I know. I'm such a poser.
It's okay. You don't have to do that.
Okay.
So yeah, Elf is. And we'll kind of get into this in a different episode when we talk about our Christmas traditions. But Elf has become very much one of our biggest Christmas traditions.
Yes.
We watch it every year. We always watch it. And we watch it, probably a couple times throughout the holiday season. Mm-hmm. But we always watch it with our family.
Yeah.
On Christmas Eve when we're opening up presents. It used to be like after we opened up presents, but then presents just became like a big thing or a bigger thing where there's just a lot more going on during Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it gets played sometime during Christmas Eve.
Yeah, so that's always been like our Christmas tradition that we've held at our house, is to watch Elf. So
yeah, we started that back when we were at the apartment.
So probably like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep.
So that's always been very special to us. So I figured you were either going to take The Grinch or one of the Home Alone movies.
Okay.
As your number one. So I'm just like, well, if that's the case, then I'm going to just secure Elf. I need to take it.
Okay.
So what's your second pick?
My second pick, I'm going Home Alone 2.
Ah, dang it. So I guess, do you prefer Home Alone 1 or obviously you prefer 2 in this situation. But why do you prefer 2?
I think I like 2 just because I don't know, I like the idea, I like the Christmas store, the toy store with Mr. Duncan.
Yeah, Duncan's.
And I like, yeah, so I like that, and then with the turtle doves and then the homeless woman, I feel like he has a better relationship with that than Old Man Marley in the first one. So I feel like it develops a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like for it being a sequel, I feel like they just did such a really good job with it. And it's just one of those things where I'm just like, do I like it more than the first one? And I think at some points I just do. I don't know.
And I think to me, it's more of a Christmas movie than the first one, because the first one is that they happen to be going to Paris for the Christmas break. But then a lot of the antics that happen in the first movie aren't necessarily because it's Christmas, it's because it happens around Christmas. But the main story in Home Alone 2 is I feel like it very much, a lot of, especially with the Duncans and and the pigeon lady, that is very much, it's the story of Christmas and it's Christmas related. And then the antics just happen to come around that. So I think to me it's more Christmassy than than Iron Man 3. It's more Christmassy than Home Alone 1. So I would have taken Home Alone 2 if it had come to me. I definitely would have taken that one.
Okay.
Dang. Okay.
If you want to scroll through our list,
yeah.
Which one are you taking next?
As much as I want to take Home Alone right now, I want to be a little bit more strategic here. And I'm going to do the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Okay, the first one?
The first one.
Okay.
That has always been, I guess since we've been together, one of my favorite movies to watch with you. I didn't grow up watching that movie at all. I did not have any, I guess, exposure to it. And I really do enjoy that movie. I enjoy the second one as well.
Yeah.
But I think that that's just one of those, like, just really cool, like, Santa stories.
Yeah, I really like that one just because of, like, the whole concept of believing in Santa Claus and how, like, you grow out of that, but you don't have to. And what's that? Believing isn't
seeing. Believing isn't seeing. Seeing is believing, or is the opposite way around?
Yeah, I don't know.
For a movie we really love. But no, yeah, it's the message behind it. It's just like, it's one of those quintessential movies like we always have to watch every single year. And it's like, it's nice like watching the new I guess the Disney Plus.
Oh, the series
of it. I know it's not getting like the greatest reviews, but I really do enjoy it. And
yeah,
I was watching Jimmy Fallon where he had Tim Allen on there, and he was talking to like, well, how did this come about? Like, why did we do this? And then Tim Allen had said something like, there's so many plot holes that don't get shored up, or there's so many things that just kind of get like, swept aside in these movies. Like, when Santa dies, well, what happens to that Santa? What happens to Mrs. Claus? Was there another Mrs. Claus? Why didn't any of the elves, like, why weren't they like sad that the other Santa had died? And so he was kind of going through this, and he's like, yeah, there's like a lot of things that weren't explained in these movies that in a series where we can kind of draw it out a little bit, like we have that opportunity, which I thought was really, really smart. And then, we just watched, I think we're up to like episode 3 right now, where Charlie's back in it, and you get to see like where Charlie is in his grown-up life. And like, this is like, I'm like, oh, this is like really cool to kind of see this story progress with a little bit more depth, and then kind of hit on those things that like, oh, like, yeah, I guess I didn't really think that was an issue before, but like, yeah, why didn't anyone like, why wasn't anyone else sad that the old Santa had died? Yeah. Like, what happened? Like, was there an old Mrs. Claus?
Yeah.
And they're very secretive about it. And, I enjoy it for what it is. By no means is it like great, art by any means, but I think it's just one of those fun Christmas series that you can just kind of just watch and enjoy, this kind of continuation of something from like 30 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. And I that's one thing I like about like Christmas and like holiday movies is that you don't really have to take them like too seriously. And I don't think it takes like too much for them to be like good movies,
yeah. I mean, Christmas with the Cranks did it.
Oh, like, that could have took some notes. Although, like, that movie came out in like, I don't know what, like the early 2000s. And
you can tell,
like, and that's the thing. I said that I think after we watched it, I'm like, there's no way that movie would be greenlit today.
No,
like, there's just no way.
No. And I was reading about that, and I didn't think this was going to become like a Christmas with the Cranks kind of like critical review episode, but it's based off a book by John Grisham, which John Grisham was like known for like his law stories.
Yeah.
And this book came out, and it was greenlit right away. I think probably even before like the book came out, for an adaptation. People didn't like the book either. Like, people were like John, or is it Josh Grisham? John Grisham.
I think it's John.
They were like, hey, buddy, stick to like the law stories. Right. Like, you can't write a story that's like this. And like, people did not like the book. It got a horrible review. And then they did like a very faithful adaptation to the movie.
Yeah, like, they're like, what's a great idea? We'll make it into a movie, and then people will love it.
Yeah, we'll take the book that nobody liked, and we'll faithfully recreate it in a movie, scene for scene, almost like page for page, and then people will really, really love it. No, it did not happen that way. We need to stop talking about Christmas with the Crank. Let's talk about the movies we do like.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to my number 3 pick. This is so hard.
There's some on here where I'm just kind of like, if you don't pick them, like, you're gonna be mad that I pick them, and like kind of vice versa.
I know. I'm going between 3 right now.
Okay.
So that means you can only pick one of those in the next round, and I can get it in the following round.
Wow.
Maybe.
I have my eyes set on like the laptop at like one movie right now. Like if you don't pick it, I'm picking it.
I know which one it is. Do I take it? Do I be mean?
I mean, if you think you know what it is.
Okay, I'm doing Olaf's Frozen Adventure.
No. That is not what I was thinking. I thought that was gonna go a little bit further down.
Okay, I'm doing Olaf's.
It's okay. I'm not salty about it at all.
Are you sure?
God, I'm so mad. Okay, so why'd you pick it?
Okay. This movie, it's not even, it's what, 25, maybe 25 minutes?
With credits?
Like, it's not that long. Like, there's so much, like, love and heart, and every year it makes me cry. Mm-hmm. Like, Olaf, after, like, I'm just gonna cry, like, thinking about it. After his sleigh gets all burnt up, and he has like the most pitiful look on his like his eyes like all like black and blue, and he's
missing a nose. Yeah, like the wolves take his fruitcake.
Oh my gosh, like he just wanted to like give Anna and Elsa like all of these like traditions and like make their Christmas so special,
because he didn't think that they had any traditions.
And then when Anna and Elsa are just like, no, Olaf, it's you, like you're our tradition, like, oh my gosh, like I'm just getting goosebumps with like, I don't know. And then like when they played When We're Together in the fireworks show at the Christmas party down in Disney.
Like we both started crying.
Oh my gosh.
So
like,
bad. So
hard. Like this movie just packs like so much like Christmas like love in 25 minutes. Like my heart can barely handle it. Plus like the music is just like it's amazing. So yeah, that one, like we watched that one probably a few times during the year or during the season. So
yeah. God, I'm so mad. I thought for sure like I would have been safe because I didn't want to take it at like 1 or 2, and I thought I was going to be safe. And maybe like a pick 4 or 5 for this one. Oh man. Okay.
So which one were you? Okay, I don't know if that's what you're gonna go for.
No, that was not the one I was going for, but I did not think that I had to worry about that one. The movie that I'm gonna pick is Klaus.
Oh, okay.
Klaus is from it's a Netflix original movie. It's an animated movie, and it follows the story of a postmaster, who I guess a postmaster's son, who doesn't really want to like be a post. Yeah,
he's definitely that rich kid's son that slacks off and doesn't want any responsibility.
Like, he reminds me of David Spade. I don't know if he voices him or not. But like he just reminds me of David Spade, like just kind of like that, like Joe Dirt slacker type of person. And he gets shipped off to this town to be the post office, or the postmaster, and they don't send mail because no one in the town likes each other. There's like this big like feud between like two different families, and they're huge families, and they absolutely hate each other. So no one sends mail outwards, and no one sends anything. So like he's got to like figure out a way to like have these people send letters in the mail, so like his post office can make money, so he can get out of the post office.
Yeah.
And it eventually turns into the story of Santa Claus.
Yeah, like how Santa Claus becomes to be, like him making toys and delivering them to the kids.
And it explains the origins of the toy shop, of his sleigh, and just how Santa is able to bring in, Christmas cheer to all the kids. And I remember we watched it for the first time, and like we were blown away. Like we did not expect how good of a movie it was.
A lot of times, like with the Netflix movies, like I just don't really expect like too much. Like I just expect like, oh yeah, it'll just be a good Christmas movie to watch. Like honestly, like since that movie came out, like it's been on our watch list every year. And the theme song throughout it is on our Christmas playlist.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like if you're looking for like a really good,
like original movie.
Yeah. Like feel good, like true meaning of Christmas movie. Like you should watch this movie.
And I mean, and it's like, we won't be like, it's for a lot of parts, it's very like, kind of like, I don't want to say dark and depressing, but like, it's very like, kind of like blackened, and it's kind of like not creepy, but it doesn't feel like your like traditional like holly jolly type of Christmas movie. It's very the colors are very dark, and the magic of Christmas just kind of sneaks in here and there, and it builds in right at the end, and you get to realize like this person who does eventually become Santa Claus, like his story with like his wife,
like
and like
he
his
has
kids,
like his own
and like, he's got his own backstory, and it's very hidden, and it's very like shadowy almost, kind of going into it. So like it's so good. It blew my mind the first time I watched it, and like we watch it all the time. It is so good. It has all the elements of like just a really good feel good Christmas movie.
I love this movie because we only like with most of these movies we only watch them around Christmas time, but every time it comes to this movie, like because it's been like a year since we've watched it, like it's almost like you get to watch it for the first time, and I love that. But yeah, highly recommend that movie. Oh, it's so good. Like I want to go watch it right now.
So that's my number 3 pick.
Okay.
So now Sammy we're on the back half of the draft.
Yeah, so
we're on our last 3, so number 4 right now. What movie are you picking?
Gosh, this is so hard to narrow this list down to 6. Like,
I mean, we can add 7. We'll see how we feel after 6, and maybe we'll add.
We may need to do like an honorable mention. Like, okay, I am going to go with. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. I'm gonna go with The Year Without a Santa Claus.
Okay.
Because I have to.
You have to?
I have to put it on my list.
It's one of those like super classic like stop motion ones from like the 50s or whatever. Like it's just it is like classic quintessential, like kind of like Frosty the Snowman or Rudolph.
like I think when people think like Rudolph, Frosty or whatever, like those classic ones, like I would pick this one over those.
And this one I feel kind of gets like a little overshadowed or like forgotten almost.
I think so too. And again, I think it was one like you hadn't ever seen until I made you watch it.
I remember it growing up, but like I just don't think it was one that like we watched like we like made sure to watch or go out of our way to watch every single year.
Yeah, I remember this one when ABC Family, or no, was it Freeform now? Or it was Freeform. I don't know. Whatever one does like the 25 Days of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And that was on there. Like I always made sure to watch it like whenever I could. Like, so yeah, that one I love it. And like the singing in it with Heat Miser and Snow Miser, like that gets me every time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one it's got to be on my list. Okay, what are you taking for your number 4?
Okay. This is quite the list here.
I know.
And I need to be strategic about it. I'm going to go with the movie we just watched a couple nights ago. And I'm going to go back to Netflix. And I'm going to do the Christmas Chronicles.
Okay.
This is one that I always forget how good it is. And I always forget how much I really do enjoy this movie. I know it's one of your favorite movies. It's with Kurt Russell as Santa Claus.
Yep.
He plays just a very different type of Santa Claus. He's just like, I don't do the ho-ho-ho. Like
fake news.
Fake news. He's wearing a leather jacket. But it still has all like that really fun, quintessential like Santa magic in it.
Yep.
The story between the two siblings that are fighting at the beginning and then they become like best friends at the end. Kimberly Williams Paisley's in it, which I really enjoyed her work. Lamorne Morris is in it, which is really funny. It's just there's just a lot to it.
And then you get was it Goldie Hawn at the end as Mrs. Claus?
Yep. And the little elves are really super cute.
They're cute.
It's one of those Netflix, like you said, like you don't expect much out of them, but then you watch it and you're like, oh wow, I really like it. And like a lot of people liked it, obviously, because they made a second one. I do enjoy the first one much better than the second one.
I do too. Yep.
So I'm now looking at my list. I'm really surprised that I took 2 Netflix movies back to back on this list. But I have a reason for it. But yes, highly recommend the Christmas Chronicles.
That's a good one. All right, number 5. Number 5.
This is where Sammy takes Die Hard.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, right. Okay, so we're getting... I feel like there's one I need to take.
And now that I'm looking at this, I think we might need to add another.
Maybe we'll add one more.
We were gonna do 8 movies.
Yeah, and that felt like too many.
And then we were like, well, let's do 6. So. But then like I kind of said 7 here and off. But then like we agreed on 6. But like I think 7 is gonna be a good number because I know what like my next 3 need to be to like round this off and be like a really good list.
Okay, I think because you got Elf, I'm taking Noelle.
Okay. Fine by me. That wasn't on my list of movies to pick. I do like Noelle though.
I do. I really like this one. I love that they have a girl Santa Claus, like, and she just like comes into her own. Like, well, she was really meant to be Santa Claus, but then the whole notion, like, well, a woman can't be Santa Claus, and like, yeah.
And then Disney makes a woman Santa Claus. You're so woke, Disney.
Yeah. Yep. So it's kind like she just reminds me of Elf, and like,
yeah, I can see that
to the world. So yeah, I'm taking that one as my number 5.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Which one are you taking?
I am going to go. Okay. So, so are we gonna do 7?
Well, we'll do 7.
We'll do 7. Okay.
We'll do 7.
And then where am I at right now? I have where? Oh, geez, I'm all over this board here. Okay, so I have 3 more to take then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to be super strategic with it. I'm going to go with the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Ooh.
We just watched that the night it came out.
Yep.
It was more than I ever thought it could and would and should be. For this being an MCU-centric and canon storyline, it was incredible. There is so much heart. There is so much joy. There's so much Christmas magic to this special. We were both blown away by it. We were both crying at the end of it. Like seeing Christmas come to life through Peter's eyes and how Christmas has affected Peter Quill. Just like I wasn't expecting that heartfelt of a story.
Yeah.
And so I knew like once we saw this, I'm like, because we were going to record this podcast before we saw that episode. And like, no, we need to wait. And I'm glad we did.
Yeah, me too.
It's definitely on there. And I wanted to secure it before. I didn't know if you were going to take it or not. So I wanted to secure it before.
Honest, I wasn't going to put it on my list.
That's okay. But I'm glad I have it on mine.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really like that Jackson Mantis got the spotlight in this show. I feel
Mantis is definitely the MVP.
Yeah. Like she's so good. And I feel like she just gets kind of lost in the background of like the regular like MCU movies. So I feel like you're just really getting to know her and like her like coming into her own person without like ego behind her or in front of her. I don't know. Like, so yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like James Gunn is just amazing. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. All right, Sammy, you are on pick number 6.
Number 6. Okay, I have a few different ones, and I have 2 left on my lineup.
And I still have 2 more to pick as well.
Yeah.
I still can't believe you took Olaf's Frozen Adventure from me. What? It's so rude.
Sorry. Not sorry. Okay. This is so hard. They have like 3 I want to pick, but I can only have 2 on my list.
And that's why you're
possibly, and I don't know what you're gonna pick.
Right.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go. I don't know. I don't know if I should pick that one. I think I'm gonna go. Oh, gosh, this is so hard.
If this was Jeopardy, you'd run out of time.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Okay.
tension. You can cut it with a knife. Were we just talking about how awesome of a
no, I don't think awesome was in the description.
You're so decisive, Skimmy.
I know. I am just the best at it. Okay, let's see. I need to make a decision. It's going to be okay because, like, they're all great movies. You know, you can't really go too wrong.
Right.
I mean, there are some that are better than others. Okay, I get 2 more. Okay.
Just don't pick the one that I want.
I am going to pick... I'm going to pick...
We need a drum roll here. I might have to edit some of this out.
I know,
Maybe
sorry.
we'll just keep it in here.
Okay,
it's gonna be okay.
I don't think it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be a-okay.
Like, I tell myself it is, but it's really not.
We are playing for absolutely nothing, and we're gonna watch these movies regardless. So at the end of the day, it's absolutely worth nothing.
It is worth something. Okay. I have to pick it. It's Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas.
Okay.
It has to be on my list.
Yep.
Yep.
This is one that I guess I never saw growing up that like meant a lot to you.
Yeah, well, because growing up, Beauty and the Beast was probably like my favorite like Disney movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like for sure my favorite princess movie, like growing up. And yeah, when they made The Enchanted Christmas, I'm just like, yes, please. So yeah, it's really cute. I don't know, just like Christmas time at the Beast Castle and how they get it all decorated and getting the Beast in like the Christmas spirit, and he wants to do something special for Belle.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. So it's just like that, I don't know, kind of like old school Disney Christmas.
Mm-hmm. And I made sure to add the Beauty and the Beast Christmas pops here.
Yeah.
I figure like Sammy's probably gonna pick that one, so I gotta get some representation here.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, definitely a good one. I already know what my next one's gonna be.
I think I know what it is.
What do you think it's gonna be?
I think you would pick Last Christmas.
It is Last Christmas.
Yeah, so I was almost gonna pick that one.
It is Last Christmas. I think is it? I don't think it's a Hulu exclusive. I think it came out. We've seen it on Hulu a couple times.
It went to theaters.
It went to theaters.
Yeah,
but we didn't see it right away. I didn't see it. You saw it.
I saw it with Katrina.
Yes, that was right, because I was mad that you saw it without me. Such a touching story. Emilia Clarke is in this, and God, I just love this movie. It's got the music of Wham, so like you can't complain about that. Yep. I just really enjoy this movie. It's definitely on our must watch list every single year.
Yep. Okay, I was gonna take that one, but I figured you were gonna take it. So
that was nice of you to concede that one to me. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, I think to round out my list,
number 7.
My number 7 pick.
Your number 7 pick.
Okay.
And there's a lot of good ones on here.
There are a lot of good
ones.
Okay, I have to pick Mrs. Santa Claus.
Okay.
I have to pick that one.
It was probably between that and I know you really enjoy Little Women. I know you just saw that. But Mrs. Santa Claus, yes, it's such a cute one.
Yeah.
With Angela Lansbury in it.
Yeah, that feels good. Yep.
Okay. Do you know what my last one's gonna be?
I don't know. I think if I had to pick from these what's left? I would probably pick A Bad Mom's Christmas.
You're wrong.
Oh.
My plan worked. Max, put How the Grinch Stole Christmas up on the board. I went into this knowing Sammy's not going to pick this one.
I'm not going to pick it.
So it doesn't matter if I give her the first one, because that technically means I get my first pick of whatever movie I want, which then gave me Elf. So I knew in my mind in this draft, I was going to get the Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, because you were never going to pick it. So it could be my last pick.
Sneaky.
I knew it. I knew it in my bones. I'm like, she's not going to pick it. That means I'm going to pick it.
See, I guess in my mind, like, the best Grinch movie was already picked, so I'm just
don't even give me that. Yes, I knew this was going to be on my list. To be honest, like, if this was a movie that you enjoyed as well, as much as I do. Like, I probably would have taken a number 2.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I knew going in here, you're like, God, The Grinch is the best Christmas movie. I already got it. And then
okay, so would that have worked for me? Like, would you have taken The Grinch?
No, I never would have picked The Grinch for you.
Oh,
so you could have.
I could have.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I would never.
Okay, so if I would have picked Elf first, I
probably would have picked Home Alone 2.
Okay.
But had you had like the Benedict Cumberbatch Grinch had fallen to like 4 or 5, like, yeah, I definitely would have picked that. I probably would have like kept Guardians off and did that one.
Just to spite me.
Just to spite you. But I knew it wasn't going to fall that far, so it didn't matter. But I knew that Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas was going to fall because it wasn't.
I would never pick it.
That's right. So I'm like, well, because then when we were talking about the number of movies to pick, and I'm like, well, if we do like, if you wanted 6, I'm like, well, if we do 7, then I can get How the Grinch. If we do 7 and you wanted 8, we did 8 or whatever the case is. Like, I knew I could pick it as my last one because it wasn't going to matter. Because I was gonna get it regardless.
You're sneaky.
So that's why I'm like, I'll play the nice. I'll give you in the spirit of Christmas. I will give you the number 1 pick because I know at the end I'm not gonna get the lump of coal at spot number 7. I'm gonna get the Christmas present that I want, and that is How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Okay.
All right, so to go over our list,
yes.
Let's start with your list.
Okay, my list.
Yes.
And I guess like these aren't in like.
These were strategically placed. Yeah, these definitely aren't in order of which that we would necessarily watch them or put them on like our definite end of the year Christmas list. But same as 1 through 7.
Start at number 1.
Yeah.
Okay, number 1, The Grinch, Benedict Cumberbatch version. Home Alone 2, Olaf's Frozen Adventure, The Year Without a Santa Claus, Noel, Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, and Mrs. Santa Claus.
That's a good list.
That's a
real good list.
I feel like that's a very like Sammy list.
As you're reading that off, and I'm like, I don't know if my list is quite as good, but like that's a good list. So my list is gonna be number 1 is Elf, 2 is the Santa Claus, the original one with Tim Allen.
Yep.
Number 3 is Klaus. Number 4 is The Christmas Chronicles. 5 is the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas Special. 6 is Last Christmas. And 7 is Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Also a very indicative list of me. These are very, tightly our lists.
Yeah.
I can see our personalities in these quite a bit here.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think that it's fair for us to try to figure out who has the better list.
Yeah, that's
maybe that is up for the people of Instagram.
I think I'm probably gonna take my list. The only thing I would probably steal from your list.
You'd steal Elf.
I'd steal Elf and Klaus.
I'm surprised you wouldn't steal Christmas Chronicles.
Well, I mean, I don't want to steal them all.
Right. I would definitely steal Olaf's Frozen Adventure from you, just because you stole it from me. But I think this might be a really fun, maybe question for the listeners and for our Instagram followers here. We'll put all of these up, either the day that drops or something, day or 2 afterwards, and we'll give this to you. What do you think is who has the better list?
Who had the better draft?
Or I guess maybe not who has the better draft, but which movies would you prefer to watch? Because, because these are really, really good lists.
Yeah.
And, we probably could have did 8 or 9 on here, just to round off some things. But I think this is a good.
I was gonna say, is there one? If you had to pick one more, would you add? Like, what is there one like you would really want to add?
I don't know if there's one that I'd really want to add, but I would probably pick A Bad Mom's Christmas.
I really enjoy that one.
I really do enjoy that one. But other than that, like, there's not one that's like that stands out to me that'd be like, yeah, I'm so mad I missed getting that one on this list here. But we really like Bad Moms, the original one, and then the Christmas movie was really, really good. So that's probably the only one where I was kind of like, yeah, maybe if we had room, I probably would have picked it. But I'm glad we stopped at 7. I think that was probably a good, round off spot to get.
Yeah, I think so
just
too.
Those really solid Christmas movies in there.
Yeah. All right. And also, like, if your favorite Christmas movie did not make it on, like, any list,
reconsider your options. No.
No, I'm curious to hear. Like, I love watching new Christmas movies. I know Netflix has quite a few like new ones out.
I was just on TikTok earlier this morning. We were eating breakfast, and I saw that there was, I think, like a new like Scrooge one.
Yeah. Yep.
Which someone was saying like blew their mind. Like they were, again, one of those Netflix ones that you don't expect to be that good, but oh my god, it's so good.
And that's not really one of my favorite like Christmas stories, like like A Christmas Carol. Like, it's just not one of my favorites. And really any version that I've seen, like, I just
not even the Jim Carrey version.
Especially not the Jim Carrey
no
version.
I think of all the Christmas Carol movies, like probably the one that I like the most is the Muppets one. Just because it's the Muppets, so like there's a little bit of like there's like some more fun to it. But yeah, I mean, it's not like I don't have to watch it by any means. You know what's a good one? A good version of it is a Flintstones Christmas Carol. I remember watching that one, girl. You remember that? I think we actually own that one somewhere, like on a DVD or something.
There's another Flintstone one, like a Flintstones Christmas, and that one is like where Fred gets to be Santa Claus.
Yeah,
that one we watched growing up. I remember that one.
Yeah, so I mean that, I think, I don't know if the Jetsons have them, but like I remember like watching like those type of ones too, like those old Hanna-Barbera ones.
Yeah.
But I think that's if there's any of them that are like good quality ones, like it's probably going to be like those. Yeah. But like, it kind of falls in the line with the old like the stop motion ones, or the old animated ones from CBS. So yeah, but yeah, definitely let us know if there's a movie that is not on this list, or the one that none that we picked that you would recommend. Like you said, definitely want to.
Yeah, because I'm always up for watching new Christmas movies. I watched a couple like Netflix ones from like a couple years ago, and yeah, like I don't know, I love Christmas movies. So yeah, just drop some suggestions, and yeah, let us know which list you like better.
Yeah. And then going forward into this month, like we said earlier, a lot of our content is going to be kind of Christmassy themed or holiday themed, with the caveat being next week.
Yeah, next week is a special one.
And because it's a special one, it's also dropping on a different date. It's going to be coming out on the 13th.
Yes.
And that is going to be our Disney Princess / Taylor Swift episode. So we'll make an announcement on the Instagram page to let you know about the new date on that, but just because we have to, us Swifties need to put something on the 13th. Yeah. We do have a very special Christmassy, or not Christmassy, princessy musical episode. Yeah. For everyone. So, and then we'll get back to our regular scheduled Christmas content.
Yeah. Maybe, I know we've been talking like some extra bonus sprinkled.
Yeah,
like,
maybe a present or two here.
Yeah, our gift to you guys. We'll see what we can get done. This month is always like, I mean, it's busy for everyone, and yeah, our weekends are already booked.
Oh my god. Yeah. So. How we're gonna get time to do this, I don't know, but we'll figure it out.
We'll see. Yeah, we really want to try, so we're not gonna make any promises, but we would like, I think, to maybe put out like maybe some extra bonus content for you guys. But we'll just kind of see how the month goes. So
yeah. So to get all those updates, follow us on Instagram. That's where we do a lot of our updating, or a majority of our updating here. Follow us on Instagram there at Team Unicorn Podcast. We're on YouTube. If you're watching us on there, thank you so much for sticking around here at the end. We're also at Team Unicorn Podcast on there. Like and subscribe, 5 stars. We really appreciate that. And we really appreciate just getting to interact with everyone. Yeah. I think something that's been cool, like we've been doing like you have your advent calendar with the Harry Potter. So stick around for those and keep watching us open up the Lego advent calendar for Harry Potter there.
Yes. I may be doing it backwards, but I don't care. It makes sense in my head.
But again, yes, thank you so much for sticking around with us, and we're glad to keep you, or have you here during the holiday season, which is our favorite season, so we can kind of share with you all of our all the traditions and everything we do during our favorite time of the year. But for this episode of the Team Unicorn Podcast, I'm Tyler.
I'm Sammy.
And it's been magical.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Team Unicorn Podcast. You can find us on all major podcast platforms as well as YouTube. Make sure to subscribe, like, and review wherever you are listening, and follow us on Instagram to keep up with all things Team Unicorn. And remember, stay magical.